What's your I did not see that one coming story? For almost a year, my daughter Nia kept telling me there was someone in her closet at night. She was 7 years old and had always been a brave kid. Slept with the lights off since she was 4. Never scared of thunderstorms. But right after we moved into our new house last spring, she started waking up at 3 a.m. crying, saying she could hear someone breathing in her closet. My husband Kate and I did all the normal parent stuff. We checked the closet every night. We left a nightlight on. We told her it was probably the house settling. We even let her sleep with our old golden retriever Biscuit for 2 weeks. Nothing worked. Every couple of nights, same thing, same time, same story. Someone was breathing in her closet. After about 4 months of this, I took her to a child therapist. The therapist said it was probably anxiety from the move. New house, new school, new bedroom. She said Nia would grow out of it. So we tried to be patient. We bought her a nightlight shaped like a moon. We read her calming stories. Kate even installed a video baby monitor in her room so we could check on her from our phones. That's when things got weird. On the monitor footage, you could hear Nia crying at 3 a.m., but you could also hear something else. A faint tapping sound, very quiet, almost like someone tapping their fingernails on wood. It only lasted a few seconds each time, and it always came from the direction of her closet. Kate thought it was the pipes. I wasn't so sure. Then, one Sunday afternoon, Nia came into the kitchen, holding something small in her hand. She said, "Mommy, I found this in my closet. It was a plastic barrette shaped like a butterfly, pink and purple, kind of dirty." I asked her where in the closet, and she said it was on the floor in the back corner behind her shoes. I didn't think much of it at first. I figured it was left behind by the previous owner's kid. But something about it bothered me. The house had been sitting empty for almost 8 months before we bought it, and our realtor said the last owner was an elderly widower who lived alone. No kids, no grandkids visiting, nobody who would have owned a little girl's barrette. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I waited until Nia was asleep at her friend's house that weekend, and I went into her closet with a flashlight. I got down on my hands and knees and started looking around. The closet was one of those old walk-ins with wooden shelves along the back wall. I started tapping on the shelves. Most of them sounded solid, but the bottom shelf on the left side sounded hollow. My heart started racing. I pulled the shelf out. Behind it was a small wooden panel, about the size of a laptop, held in place with 2 screws. I got a screwdriver from the garage and took the panel off. Behind the panel was a hole in the wall, just big enough for a person to crawl through. It led into the space between the walls. I grabbed my phone and shined the flashlight inside. What I saw made me sit down on the floor and put my hand over my mouth. There was a small mattress on the floor, a pile of dirty blankets, empty water bottles, a few candy wrappers, and a stack of little kid drawings scattered around. Drawings of butterflies, drawings of a house with a family standing in front of it, drawings signed with the name Lena in shaky handwriting. I called Kate at work and told him to come home immediately. Then I called the police. They arrived in about 20 minutes with 2 detectives. They took photos of everything. They bagged the drawings and the barrette. One of the detectives asked me who had lived in the house before us. I told him what the realtor told me, an old man living alone. He wrote it down and asked me if we'd ever met the old man. We hadn't. He died before the house went on the market. 3 weeks later, the detective called me and asked if I could come down to the station. When I got there, he sat me down in a small room and slid a photograph across the table. It was a school picture of a little girl, maybe 6 years old, with brown hair and pigtails and a big gap-toothed smile. She was wearing a pink and purple butterfly barrette. He said her name was Lena Voss. She had disappeared from a park 2 towns over in 2011. She was never found. Her case had gone cold years ago. The old man who had lived in our house had been questioned back in 2011 because his truck was seen near the park that day. But he had an alibi and there was no physical evidence, so they let him go. He lived in that house alone for 12 more years before he died. The detective told me they had gone back into the walls with a full forensic team. Behind the space where the mattress was, there was another panel. And behind that panel was a small crawl space that led down under the house. That's where they found her. Nia's closet had been sharing a wall with Lena for 12 years.